New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Good morning, Fin fans. That's right. Good morning, Fin fans. Welcome to Top of the Tailgate. This is the TFTG, and I'm your host, Ali the Persian. And let's bring it all, give it all a big round of applause to Color. What's up, Color? How you doing?
Oh, warm. Warm and muggy. That's how I'm doing.
Warm and muggy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Color is warm and muggy today. It's what, 6:04 a.m. Color. Rock and roll. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We do have some articles we're going to be going over, so it's a great show. But before we do that, while you're hanging out with us, let's not forget some of the other content we got going around these parts. And I know mine's not up to date. That's fine. We will get my my thing up to date soon. Check out El Capitan and the TFTG show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sundays during the season, calling out the game. And then you got Color and myself in the mornings from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And then sometimes Color will do Color and a Cup of Coffee to extend that show. So rock and roll. I don't know if you're doing that today or not, Color. Yes, no, maybe so.
We might, because I've got the list just about complete, bro, and I've got some interesting stuff to talk about on the production of passers from last year.
All right.
It might be interesting. I'm going to try to get it going on today. I've got a couple errands to run this morning, but if I can get back early enough, we'll make it for early afternoon if I have to. But if not, it is absolutely going to be debuted tomorrow morning one way or another. So keep your notification bell rung, and we'll be having it out.
All right, so if it's not today, it will be tomorrow morning.
And I'm going to share it out to make sure everybody knows that way, because I know some people have been waiting on it. I've been delayed on it for a little while, and so everybody got it out of their field of vision. So I'll make sure I share it out, let everybody know that it's coming, so y'all have a chance to come join.
Definitely, 100%. So we also, that being said, while you're hanging out, check out Lewis and Shake Money with the Rabid Dolphin and doing drive time / smoke lounge shows. We had Dr. Reginald Brown here, so shout out to Doc, as well as we had Crypto up in this joint. We got some amazing announcements, additions to our show coming soon. I'm gonna let El Cap and them take the fire to announce that. So rock and roll. I can't wait. Let me tell you, people, right? Hitting 5,000, yeah, that's epic. 5,000 subscribers, that's really epic, and that was because of all of you. But what we have planned next and reaching the next level, wow, I can't even dream of. It's like a dream come true. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. But while you're hanging out, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We also have Cash App and Venmo. If you'd like to donate to the channel, just look up the money sign, the Fins Tailgate, or the Fins Tailgate from Venmo. We also accept super chats and super stickers. Like I said, you don't have to donate if you don't want to. We'd really appreciate it though if you did. But make sure you hit like and subscribe. Turn on notification bell. Also, if you want more content, want to be notified sooner about shows and whatnot, become a member. We have 3 different levels. We have Amigos, Familia, and MVP. It's very inexpensive to sign up for it, and it helps out the channel. That's a really good way to do that. And also, if you'd like to help out the channel, but you're also looking for something for yourself, shout out to our affiliates. We already mentioned Fanatics, where you can get officially licensed everything. Go to Fanatics, use the link below. By using the link below to make your purchase, you get all the same deals, same items you can buy, same everything, except if you use the link below, it helps out the channel. So it's 2 for 1. You're buying yourself something you were already going to get, and you help out our channel. So definitely use the link below for Fanatics. You can get officially licensed everything, jerseys, the draft hats, or even hats of all kinds, and all different types of memorabilia. So rock and roll to Fanatics. Also, while you're hanging out, if you're looking for some awesome artwork or something unique to put in your house, check out Background Collection. They got some really cool canvas art that's customizable for both Miami Dolphins and other sports. They also do other custom work as well. In addition, they have accessories for the little mini helmets that everybody collects and gets signed and everything. So definitely check out Background Collection. Yeah, they got some really cool stuff there. So definitely check them out and check out the link below. In addition to that, Doobie Energy Drink, yep, or Dubby Energy Drink, however you want to pronounce it. Check it out. A lot more people in the community are starting to use it. They're saying it's, the flavors are pretty awesome. In addition, the company itself claims that you don't get the jittering or shaking that you normally do with other, energy drinks that are out there. They also don't include a lot of the harmful sugars that you see in those that can affect you. They have more vitamins and minerals that are more, that are meant to benefit the brain and brain functionality, as well as focusing and stuff like that. So check out Doobie Energy Drink. They have all different flavors. Shake Money has a review. He's going to be doing a review on the regular now, from what I understand. So check out Shake Money for that as well. Another reason to watch Shake Money show. So rock and roll, Doobie Energy Drink. I'd like to thank all of our affiliates. I have to remove you for a second so people can actually see the stuff. But yeah, check out all of our affiliates. Rock and roll.
Now we're gonna find out if Shake's up and awake yet. So I'm gonna let you know we do appreciate all support. Even liking and sharing and just subscribing helps out just as much as any kind of monetary support. And this is the part where I'm gonna find out if Shake's listening. While we do enjoy the type that jingles, we certainly prefer the type that folds. We'll see if Shake's listening.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, so rock and roll. So currently it's 6:10 a.m. in the morning. It's currently 81 degrees in Miami with today's high of 87. Currently it's about 87% humidity. There's a slight chance of rain this morning, but mostly partly cloudy. This afternoon, I do expect some short showers here and there. It's about 32% chance of rain, so it is very possible. And then that reduces over the evening and into the night. So yeah, they're saying it feels like 90 right now in Port St. Lucie color.
Wow.
Yeah, do you got anything on the traffic report yet?
Not yet. I've got it. I'm fixing my coffee, as a matter of fact, right now. I'm going to be firing up the helicopter here in a second. But on that note, we're looking for a high of 91 today in Palm Beach County. Currently 76 degrees with 97% humidity. Yeah, like I said, warm and muggy. But on that note, I did get a nice little surprise in the mail yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, check this out. Ready to brew. Look at that.
Dude, check out mine.
Nice. Nice.
Turn around. Look at that.
Look at that with the orange theme. With the, oh, yeah. Ooh. With the orange handle.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I kid you not. So my sister-in-law got me this. Oh, this part. Yeah, it has Miami Dolphins kind of like sticking out the side of it. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty dope. My sister-in-law got this for Christmas, like I want to say like 7 years ago. I've had this so long, bro. Like however long this logo's been. Yeah, there you go. He has the collection going. I don't have that. Damn, color. What other? Wait, go to the first shelf. I want to see what is that? What are those on the side of the mugs? No, go down. The first shelf. Yeah, what are those? Let me see those. Okay, little dogs and stuff. That's cool. I collect coffee mugs, kind of, sort of. I have all different kinds. I hiked the canny. Yeah, you did, color. Yeah, you did. Rim to rim. But anyway, my sister-in-law got this for me, and this thing has lasted forever, bro. This has lasted a couple households when I moved around a little bit. I love this mug. I'll never give it up, to be honest.
Yeah, well, my favorite mug got broken last season.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep. It was the one with the 2000 era logo, and the mug was blue, and it had 4 names on it. None of them included a quarterback. Brandon Marshall, Jake Long, Ronnie Brown, and Ricky Williams. That was who was on the mug.
Was it an officially licensed mug, color?
Oh, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard color. He lost his mug. Everybody donate to the channel. We're going to try to buy him a new mug. Same exact one. There we go, color.
It might be hard to find now. I mean, you might have to find it on eBay, and it probably already has some coffee stains in it, so I don't know.
I got a guy that might be able to procure it for us. Okay.
Now, if we were to find one that's used, that's still good enough for a collection. I don't know if I'll drink out of it, but you know.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, but no. I have a guy that gets some rare, officially licensed stuff. You can get kind of stuff like that, and I'll ask him if it's something that he recognizes, or when he sees it, can he let me know? So that's why I said, donate to the channel. We might be able to get you one. So to replace it. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's actually see who's all appearing in the chat, color.
Well, real quick, in the meantime, you can go to TFTGnetwork.com and get yourself a color commentary mug. That way you can have coffee and a cup of color proper.
Or a late night exhale mug as well.
Right.
Yeah,
we got to get you a top of the tailgate mug, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That late night exhale mug with the late night exhale emblem or logo on it looks like fire, bro. I love it. Yeah, the only thing I wish I could, it's not as big as this mug that I have. So I kind of wish it came in a bigger size. That's the only downfall. It's just a standard cup size, to be honest. So
I like the standard cup size. That's the way I roll pretty much.
Color's a standard kind of guy.
Like the one I just showed you that I just got, it's a little too tall for my taste, but whatever, it'll work.
Yeah, gotcha. So let's actually shout out to the chat. There's some things we need to discuss here, color. First of all, shout out to Mike C with the $2 donation for replacement, color. See, they love you already, color.
Appreciate that, Mike C. Yeah, two bucks more closer to a new mug. And I'm still about 40. I'm still about 40 short of a new Keurig machine on buymeacoffee.com. I haven't been promoting it lately just because we've been just busy as all hell. Nothing to really do in the off season. But yeah, I'm still keeping track of that. I haven't spent the money. All those that have already supported to try to help, it's still sitting there waiting for me to collect enough to get a Keurig. So I appreciate everybody that and guys like Mike C that take care of us like that. We appreciate that.
Yeah, in fact, color, I think I saw your Keurig was like an aqua color. Is that right? Did I see that correctly?
Oh yeah. I got. Well, I don't know if they call it aqua, but it's the closest thing they got.
It looked more like a turquoise, probably. But I'm just saying it looked kind of interesting. I was like, oh, that's very similar.
Yeah, it's this. It's matter of fact, TD from TD Finstock has one in his background. If you notice, it's off in the back. Mm-hmm. Except he don't use it. It's like a collector for him. So like mine actually getting used. So even though it's teal, it's kind of like got plenty of brown splotches on it from coffee overspray.
There you go. So shout out to Aquavision in the chat. Hello, chat. What's up?
What's up, Aqua?
Michael K is already here.
Thank God Aqua beat him in too, man, because he would have put that on us, Ollie. I don't know if I could handle that twice in a row, man.
I know what you mean. And then we have Mansa Chill. What's up, Mansa Chill? I hope I said that correctly. Mike C, of course, is here. C Hopeful is here. Ruben Jimenez, how's it going? Let's see.
It's like we got Mr. Polk up in here. How you doing?
Yeah, Edward Loftus, what's up? Jake Money, good morning. It's another beautiful day in Zumunda, as he likes to say.
It is, Shake.
Yeah, Timothy Webb is here. Kenna Rankin, I hope I said that correctly. And I think that's everybody for now.
Kenna reminds me of that old toy company, Kenner, that used to make Star Wars toys before Mattel bought them out.
That was a long time ago, mm-hmm. Holy crap, I can't believe you remember that.
Well, Kenner, bro. I was a collector even when I was a kid, man. I was buying all them.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, Color, let's keep it moving. So, yeah, coffee of the week. I mentioned yesterday I started drinking Seattle's Best Coffee, Portside Blend. If you don't know, Seattle's Best Coffee is a company that's been around for quite some time. And actually, let me just go to where I need to be. Sorry about this. My PC just did something, Color. Here it is. Okay.
Uh-oh.
No, we're all good. We're all good. Much better than yesterday. I can actually hear you. It's wonderful. Keep it going. So if you don't know about Seattle's Best, from their beans roasted in a peanut roaster to a variety of smooth, delicious blend all over the country, they've really grown. They started in the 70s as the Stewart Brothers Coffee, brewing a surprisingly smooth coffee with just a 12-pound peanut roaster on Seattle's Pier 70. They slowly grew, which they soon outgrew a little roaster and moved into a beautiful Vashon Island, which I believe is an island off of Washington, around that area, where they continue to roast and blend delicious coffee for stores across Seattle. Later on, they went ahead and they participated in a competition, and they actually won the competition, and they changed their name to Seattle's Best Coffee because of it. They have various different flavors, everything from your regular breakfast and house blend to portside. They even have a really dark flavor that is dedicated to a cat that would curl up around the roaster for some reason, named Henry. So you'll see Henry and his signature blend. That's a famous one. But they have all different types of flavors. The way that they use 100% Arabica beans, and the way that they roast their beans, they're able to extract all the good flavors from their beans, giving you a nice smooth coffee, as they like to say. And I'm drinking their Portside blend right now. It's a medium to medium dark. I'm not going to call it a pure medium coffee. It's kind of like a combination of both. It has like a slight like vanilla taste to it, like really slightly, with also some chocolate tones. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Color will say it's like bitter, but it has slight bitterness to it. But it's not. I don't think it's as. What did you say? Oily Color? The Portside blend?
Yeah, that's what I usually call it. Oily.
I don't know. Maybe it's because of my creamer that I have. kind of covers that up a little bit, maybe for me.
Well, they did mention they use Arabica beans, but I'm wondering if that blend they might not. They might use a Western Hemisphere blend. That's kind of what it tastes like, you know.
Yeah, that might be
A
it.
little more acidic, you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
like kind of like your Colombian blends, Peruvian blends will be like that. Even the French roast because they get their beans from Guyana.
You said you recommend the house blend is what you recommend, right?
That's the second one that I tried, which kind of is a little closer to a smoother taste, like they're saying. So their house blend, I'd imagine, is the one that is actually Seattle's best, considering it was probably the only flavor they had back when they won the award. You know?
Yeah, that's probably true. They probably had like a light and then the medium,
right.
probably.
But the house blend is the one that they, their house blend. That's the one they put out there for the competition, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'd imagine that too. But yeah, they the house blend that is really good. I've had that one too. This one I like. This one, it's not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I didn't throw them, like I didn't drink them all, but I didn't throw them away either. Like they're at the bottom of my spindle because like emergency cups, because they're not bad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the taste.
Yeah. So just give you a little tidbit on Seattle's best coffee. You can find them both at Walmart, Publix, or Amazon, or you can order directly from their website. They have all different types of coffee. They come in K-cups as well as in regular coffee beans that you can get. All different flavors. They even have something called 6th Avenue Bistro, which sounds interesting. Like there's the Post Alley. That's a more of a darker roast. They even have one called Very Vanilla Color. Sounds like you're very vanilla. No, I'm just kidding. No.
I can't even handle regular vanilla, and they're all like very vanilla. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I do. That's actually, if you can't handle vanilla, maybe that's why you don't really care for the Portside blend, because it has like a vanilla undertone to it.
Oh, I wonder if that might be it.
Yeah, that might be that one taste that you don't like.
It's not that I don't like the taste. It's just so overpowering, man. Like vanilla and the hazelnut, they just take over the coffee, kind of.
Yep, I understand. So again, this is Coffee of the Week. We're not paid or affiliated with any of these companies. We're just trying out coffee and telling you what we think. Maybe it's a good buy for you. Maybe it's not, It's all up to you. It's just coffee. That's all it is. Let's keep it moving though, Color. So we have cause for cleats. And our cause for cleats today is brought to you by our long snapper, Blake Ferguson. His cause for cleats, just so you're aware, is the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, or also known as JDRF. JDRF is the leading global organization funding type 1 diabetes research. Our strength lies in our exclusive focus on singular influence on the worldwide effort to end type 1 diabetes, or T1D is what it's called for short. Their vision, a world without type 1 diabetes. Their mission, improving lives today and tomorrow by accelerating life-changing breakthroughs to cure, prevent, and treat type 1 diabetes and its complications. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease that strikes both children and adults suddenly. It has nothing to do with diet or lifestyle. There's nothing you can do to prevent it, and at present, there is no cure. Type 1 diabetes, your pancreas stops producing insulin, a hormone the body needs to get energy from food. This means a process your body does not naturally and automatically becomes something that now requires your daily attention and manual intervention. It says the way that they wrote that sentence, Color. Wow, what a tongue twister. If you have type 1 diabetes, you must constantly monitor your blood sugar level, inject or infuse insulin through a pump, and carefully balance these insulin doses with your eating and activity through day and night. It goes on to explain what type 1 diabetes is, what a world without it would mean for us. It shows how to, different programs that they're about, and as well as how they've impacted the fight against type 1 diabetes. And in addition, how to donate. If you want more information about JDRF, go to jdrf.org. That's their website, and you can read a lot more about them. Now, again, we're not affiliated with jdrf.org or any of the cause for cleats that we talk about. We're just making people aware that they're out there and that, that it might help you. We're trying to bring humanity back to the players and what they're representing and whatnot. But I know this.
And let's face it, the mainstream media, they have to stick with the big names because those are the ones that get the most reach. So a lot, we're here to tell you about all the other ones that from the regular guys, Yeah,
and just so you know that about their impact, from funding innovative research to advocating for government action to provide a support structure for the community, no other organization does more to fight type 1 type 1 diabetes than JDRF does. Their research investments deliver on the promise of making life with type 1 diabetes better. They've championed technology with the goal in mind, from the first engineered insulin 40 years ago to recent advancements. Their advocacy as well, their powerhouse team in Washington, D.C. that works with volunteers across the country to secure government support for innovative type 1 diabetes research. So that's pretty dope as well. But there's a lot more that you can read about how they've impacted, everything from insulin pumps, insulin, the accessories you use, biomarkers, beta cell biology, like everything. They've had their hand in everything in trying to, fight JDRF and I'm not JDRF, type 1 diabetes. I'm so sorry. So definitely check jdrf.org out. They have a lot of information. So shout out to Blake Ferguson and making people aware. Oh, all right, Color. Do you have anything else to say on JDRF? I know it affects a lot of people in the community. I have family and friends that have, have to deal with type 1 diabetes and stuff. So.
Yep, it's a big pain in the rear.
Yeah, it is. All right, so let's keep it moving. It's time for some football. Anything else before we start off talking about some of these articles that we got to go over?
Yeah, I think I should be able to get this computer working here, and give a little update on the traffic. Give me a second to pull the old view screen up. Uh-oh, where's that coming from? All right, let's see. All right, so up in the Palm Beach County area, you got, obviously delays and slowdowns coming upon all the intersections. Back roads are clear. You get a little bit of a slowdown up on State Road 80 Southern Boulevard approaching Military Trail. But that's about it for Palm Beach County. Everything's looking pretty light. You still have the road closure at 6th Avenue from Congress Avenue all the way to I-95. Make sure you don't even try to go that way. It's been closed for months. Most people know about it already. And, of course, heading down to Broward, Boca, and Broward County, everything's looking clear. Side streets are looking clear. Even the intersections are looking pretty clear. We got a bunch of orange instead of red. Keep it that way, people. Take your time. Don't rush, because rushing is what causes all the slowdowns, believe it or not. And, of course, speaking of slowdowns, as always, you've got the Florida Turnpike going into the Northeast 167th. Slow down through the junction. And, of course, down in Miami, everything's looking pretty good. Everything's tight at the choke points, of course. But other than that, you've got one little slowdown approaching the turnpike off of the Dolphin Expressway heading west. But other than that, traffic is looking pretty good. Make sure you're keeping good distance. Wear your seatbelt. And if you're in the 305, turn around and go the other way.
All right. Thank you very much for your traffic report, Color. Really appreciate that. A lot of great info there. And, definitely be safe on the road. Make sure you buckle up as well. That being said, Color, let's it's time for some football. Before I want to just shout out to people that if you're just joining, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I see you, Lewis. I see you in the chat. Check out Lewis and Shake Money's show from yesterday with Doc Brown. They had some really good conversations going on. I know Crypto was there as well, so definitely shout out to them. Shout out to Lewis doing spaces. Man, Shake Money and Lewis have been all over, so definitely shout out to them. So let's keep it going here. So, Color, we do have some Dolphin news that we're definitely going to go over. In addition to that, some other things that are going on. The league has notified teams that there will be a special meeting on July 20th where it's expected to have a vote for the new ownership of the Washington Commanders. So it's end of an era for the Snyder ownership of the team. I kind of think it's like past due its time. What do you think, Color? Like, I think
from what I understand about the guy, and this is, the speculation is over. The guy's got a track record and plenty of instances of, things that aren't very well accepted in society and should not be accepted in society. And of course, it's not. There's no rule about ownership and all that, but when you got a bunch of people that don't think that way and you keep stepping in it, eventually people are just gonna ostracize you right out of your gig. So there you go. People need to be more respectful in society.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And we've talked about our own owner and some of the shenanigans that our owner has been involved in, but ultimately those were football related situation. It had to do with the game and football itself, right? The shenanigans that the Snyder or Dan Snyder was involved in, it was outside of the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? It had to do with financial as well as exploitation, of certain things that were allegedly done at a photo shoot with their own cheerleaders. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of like a different level of shenanigans. Whereas at least our owner has done some things that to try to benefit the team and the team's success in a sense.
Yeah, right. Like you ever see that movie Showgirls?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, bro. Like, what's this guy doing, man?
I have to agree. I definitely have to agree. I can never look at Saved by the Bell ever again the right way after. Just being honest this morning. Oh man, I can't think of
that happened with me and Lucy Lawless from Xena when I saw Spartacus, bro. Like, can't ever watch Xena again, man.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. So, Color, recently we talked about breakout players for this season, like who are breakout players. Where we've been talking a lot about that recently, both on the defense and the offense. Is there a player in the league? Doesn't have to be Dolphins. Is there a player in the league that you think is going to have a breakout season?
Good question. I'd have to give it a minute.
Okay, well, I'll give you maybe some idea. According to what is this? This was a tweet by
I got it. Saquon Barkley.
Ooh, so after having a really good season last season, you think he's going to follow it up and do it back to back, but even better?
Yep.
Damn. He's going to really earn his money. He's going to show why he's worth more than $10 million a season. Okay. All right. I can see that. That's a good one. This was a tweet. It looks like it was by VR Gridiron. VI, pardon my take. They're saying Brandon Ayuk is going to have an incoming breakout season. That is a good one too. It all depends on the play of the quarterback, though. So I don't know how likely it is. I'm gonna say with mine, I'm gonna double up what I said last year, Color, because he's the most underrated receiver in my opinion. A lot of people don't give him credit for what he did for the Detroit Lions. I'm gonna say Amon St. Brown is gonna show why he's the top wide receiver in Detroit.
Wow.
That's my. I'm gonna double up with him, bro. I'm telling you. I told everybody, go get Amon St. Brown. You will not be disappointed in fantasy numbers. And I was right. I even told you, and you didn't pick him, Color. And
You were right.
And you were
You
like,
were right.
if I had him, I would have won. I was like, I told you.
And I think he landed like what, 6th on my list or something like that. Most productive wide receivers.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna do even better. So.
Yeah, he's. You know what? I think people just look at that name and remember. You know how I feel about football names.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times those really long extended ones are not really good football names. And so there you go. People see that name and they just think, oh, he's mid, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's all in a name, bro. You know, it really is. Like, people don't want to sit there and talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's too hard to say and whatever else. And it's Detroit. You know what I mean? Who gives them credit for anything? You know,
well, you're going to start giving them credit this season. They really improved the team. They brought in, very highly productive players from running back all the way to tight end.
Yep.
I think that.
Yeah, he fell in 7th. He fell in 7th behind A.J. Brown.
Yeah. You look at, you remember two drafts ago, they drafted a receiver in the first round. I believe it was the kid from Florida State. I could be wrong about that. But they drafted a receiver and he didn't even play till I want to say it was midway through the season, which they already were one of the highest scoring teams without him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you think you have that guy, which they are dealing with a little bit of suspensions, but I still think that they're going to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is you if you have the full team on board and playing, you think of how good they were last season. Imagine how good they're going to be this season.
Right, you know right. I mean? And some notable names that were not as productive as St. Brown. Number 8, Devonta Smith from the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 9, Jamar Chase. And number 10, Jalen Waddle. So there you go. Number 7, Amon-Ra St. Brown, most productive wide receiver last year.
Yeah, I think he's going to have just good. And look, just because I'm saying Amon St. Brown, this is for the NFL. I was trying to be different in difference to the Miami Dolphin players. I do believe this year we're going to see breakouts all over the Miami Dolphin team. Jalen Waddle may even hit a new level. Have you seen the workouts with him, Color? He looks he's bigger. He looks like he's faster.
And all it takes is a couple more crucial catches to jump from 10th to somewhere right around 5th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you're talking keep Tyreek where he's at, and we got 2 top 5 wide receivers. I'm on that.
Yeah, he looks like he's really playing for his next contract this season. I mean, based on how serious. Year 1 was good. Year 2, you could definitely see he had a different gear. And now year 3, I think he's in a whole different gear than what he was before. So even though people are kind of worried about the whole issue with Tyreek and stuff that's been in the news speculative because he allegedly slapped somebody, even though people are worried about that, I'm not so worried because we already have the person that we say is like for like already here, and he's already getting himself ready for a whole new level. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm okay with whatever, is going on. I'm just going to let it in play and see. In which we'll definitely talk about a little bit when we get to the Dolphins part of stuff, okay? But yeah, man, Amon St. Brown is my guy to have a breakout season. I'm looking at it as a fantasy standpoint. That's how I'm looking at it in regard to production and what they provide. Any other call outs or breakout seasons incoming that we should know about before we move on?
Much I can think of right at the top of my head. I mean, I would go with Jalen Waddle as well. Not because, not being homerish, but I could honestly see him taking it to another level. Really do, because
especially if he works on his hands color, if he fixed the hands issue, catching with his hands, that alone is already a massive improvement, and you already have an upgrade from last year. That alone.
And that's literally the only thing he's got to work on right now, as far as, refining. Mm-hmm. And I just believe if he gets that tightened up, and you could be looking at something really big, man. I mean, just the way how efficient he is, with his opportunities. And if you increase those opportunities, I mean, sky's the limit, man. Mm-hmm. Tyreek, Schmyreek,
100%. All right, let's keep it moving, Color. So, also in the news, according to this report, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are reluctantly preparing for a 2023 Hard Knocks appearance, per reports. That's right. So the Jets are rumored to be preparing to be on the next Hard Knocks. This is according to CBS Sports. There were some other reports that were talking about this as well. This is an article by Cody Benjamin. He goes on to say, the New York Jets have commanded more headlines than most this offseason, and now they're set to command the cameras. Despite public disinterest in doing so, the Jets are preparing to appear on this year's edition of Hard Knocks, according to NBC Sports, with the NFL set to spotlight New York and HBO's annual preseason reality show. Jets coach Robert Saleh indicated earlier this month that his team is not interested in welcoming HBO and NFL Films to document the club's run-up to the 2023 season, but the Jets are one of the 4 teams eligible to be selected according to the league's criteria, which excluded teams with first-year coaches and recent playoff contenders. New York has also pushed back against a potential selection privately per NBC Sports, but the NFL doesn't have an abundance of alternatives. The Bears and Saints, 2 other eligible teams, have reportedly also resisted an appearance, while the Commanders, another candidate, are open to a Hard Knocks partnership, but perhaps only after their pending ownership change is complete. The NFL
they're the ones with the image they got to repair. Sure.
That would be some free press for them, to be honest. The NFL also approached the Lions, that would be an interesting one, who appeared on the show last year for a potential encore, only to be rebuffed per NBC Sports. The Jets would make arguably the most entertaining of the 2023 possibilities. Not only are they looking to snap a 12-year streak of non-playoff seasons, but they've deemed themselves title contenders after trading longtime Packers star Aaron Rodgers. With 6 different primetime games of the 2023 schedule, they're poised to be one of the driving storylines of the NFL this year. 6? They have 6? I didn't even realize that. Damn. Jets also have noted history on Hard Knocks, earning a Sports Emmy for a 2010 appearance, punctuated by big names like Coach Rex Ryan, quarterback Mark Sanchez, and cornerback Darrelle Revis. The annual summer series has been running since 2021, with an in-season spinoff also debuting in 2021. So shout out to CBS Sports for giving us that report. Hard Knocks. I'm for it. If the Jets are the ones selected, I'm all for it, Color. What do you think?
Yeah, let them have that distraction. I thought it interesting, the criteria, the qualifications. Mm-hmm. You can't be a recent playoff contender.
Yeah, they try not to make it a recent playoff contender.
Yeah, why are they doing that? Because they know it's a distraction. Because they know it's going to keep a team at the bottom of the barrel because of all that distraction, man. You know what I mean? That's so wrong, bro. You know what? This is why fans don't know what the hell they're talking about all the time. Because what the NFL shows us as fans, like with these shows like Hard Knocks, is the worst of the worst in how they operate their team and the choices they make and the personnel decisions and all this other stuff, i.e. Joe Philbin. You know what I mean? And it's like, so fans watch this stuff and they get this twisted idea of how things operate in an NFL organization, and they don't realize they're watching a trash organization. And they don't know what a good organization will do, a winner will do, because obviously the NFL will never let a playoff contender have that distraction, lest they no longer be a playoff contender. Go figure. Yeah, I hope we never get Hard Knocks in Miami again. I've never would I be a fan of that coming to Miami.
As long as we're making the playoffs, Color, we don't have to worry about that.
Exactly. More incentive to make the playoffs. Get that Hard Knocks camera away from us, man.
Yeah. The other rules were that it couldn't be a rookie head coach. And I think there was one more, but I didn't really see exactly what that was.
Don't you think it would be a little more informative for people to watch Bill Belichick in his offseason and how he operates, so we know what a winner looks like when they're in the offseason? I mean, come on, man.
You're absolutely right. I mean, Bill Belichick is used to being around the cameras. That's not a lie. No pun intended.
Or let's say the Eagles and how they came up and built up and ended up being runner-up in the Super Bowl. How about them?
Yeah. So you
get an idea of what a good organization looks like and how real football is supposed to be played. And then you wouldn't have all these trash takes all the time from people that were watching, the Jets on Hard Knocks. Like, that's the measure of what teams do in the offseason.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying. So you're basically saying that the new teams, I'm sorry, not new teams, but the teams that are in the playoffs should be just as well be
hell yeah,
on Hard Knocks. I got
hell yeah. Why not? Why keep pressing the other guys down? Because we all know that distraction is going to cause them to lose. I mean, what Hard Knocks team is carrying it all the way to the playoffs and boom, look, we get a real insight? No, I want to know what freaking Andy Reid's doing right now, man. I don't want to know what Robert Saleh's doing right now. Who gives a damn about Robert Saleh, man? I want to know what Andy Reid's doing right now. I want to know what Kyle Shanahan's doing right now. Sean McVay. I don't want. Yeah, that's the point. It's a gimmick, is all I'm trying to say. It's a bunch of marketing gimmicks.
Sean McVay and that Rams team might end up on Hard Knocks pretty soon, Color. So you might actually.
I know, right?
But there's a question in the chat that was meant for you by Mr. Polk or Crazy Dolphin. Color, do you want an Aqua K mini cup Keurig or a regular Aqua Keurig?
Wow. Well, I use regular size cups. I don't know if you mean mini as in the machine is mini or the cups are mini.
I think, but as long as they're Crazy Dolphin, if you could please clarify. But I think
I think he's talking about the one I have, the one that's the old one I got. That I think that's called a mini K cup. Like, it's a little smaller, but not. It's more compact, but it's not like one cup special or anything.
Because what he meant is that they have these regular sized coffee K-cup coffee machines where it's like has all the functions and all that.
Right.
The small standard. There's only like
exactly
options,
and that's the one that comes in red, teal, and beige, I think, or something like that. Yeah, and Mr. Polk, you certainly don't have to do that, but I'll answer your question. the Aqua, obviously, but you certainly don't have to do that, man.
All right. So let's keep it moving, Color. Let's keep it moving. So, yeah, Hard Knocks. I'm interested to see what the Jets do. I think it would be fun. And they've, I think it'd be fun for not just, the Jets fans, but for the Dolphin fans because of all the bantering back and forth and how everybody, automatically you would think that they would be Super Bowl contenders, but what's been in the media lately, Color? I mean, I'm not trying to throw more banter, but in the media, it hasn't been about the Jets recently. All the media outlets are saying that the Dolphins have the best roster, one of the best rosters in football, and we have one of the best rosters in the AFC East, and it's ours to lose. You know what I mean? That's what the narrative has been. You had people that have been professional Miami Dolphin haters in mainstream media now turning and saying that they're siding with the Dolphins. when you think it would be the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I also kind of think that the media also is looking at the fact that the Jets, for example, what have they really done to get better? Yes, they brought in former MVP quarterback, who's now what? I want to say he's like 40, something like that. He's pretty old now, right? For the most part. I'm not trying to age the guy, but you know what I'm saying. He's much older now. In addition, the guys that they brought in to collab with him, are they really upgrades? They lost Elijah Moore to trade to Cleveland. And who did they bring in? Randall Cobb, who's like 38 years old.
Yeah, the only thing that makes that possibly a better option is that, he brought in guys that he knows are going to be where he wants them to be in the crucial situations. You know what I mean? So he's worked with those guys for a long time. That might be like what they're thinking that overcomes the young athleticism of whoever they sent out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And then you look at,
I don't think it's enough to overcome. I think Randall Cobb is just washed, man, and it don't matter what Aaron Rodgers does.
Yeah, they also brought in Lazard, right? You can't tell me that Lazard and Randall Cobb is better option than going with Elijah Moore. It sounds like what you guys are doing is you guys set yourself up for maybe 1 or a 2-year run. That's it. After that, I think you're going to be right back to where you're at. That's
they're basically banking on, can Aaron Rodgers be Aaron Rodgers?
Mm-hmm.
And if he can, then he needs the guys like a Randall Cobb or a Alan Lazard so that he's not standing at a press conference complaining about rookie wide receivers not being in the right spots. That's basically what it is. The Jets are saying, look, Aaron, here you go. You better be Aaron, and there ain't no excuses. You ain't going to be sitting here talking about inferior wide receivers. We're going to give you guys you worked with. You can handpick them. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that being said, the other part of it, I just want to land on this color, is the fact that you brought in all these players that he wanted, right? That he wasn't even able to get it done in Green Bay, but you're forgetting the one thing that was consistent with Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have it in himself to be kind to authority that's over him.
Right.
If you look at his relationship that he had with the head coach that they went over after I think McCarthy left there, he didn't have a very good relationship with the head coach. You could see them on the like saying things to each other on the sidelines. It was all in the media and everything. You think he's gonna come there and be all good and hunky dory with Robert Saleh?
Well, I think that's the point. I think Saleh knows his own limitations, and that's why he brought him in and hired Hackett to be his OC, because he knows it's like, hey, you and Aaron can go off there and do your thing. Make sure we score points, and I'm going to focus on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't even think Hackett's going to be able to overcome some of the disappointment that Aaron Rodgers is going to see.
Well, they're really good friends.
They can be really good friends, but that doesn't mean you're a good play caller. I mean,
no, I got you. I got you. I'm just pointing out that there should be no conflict between him and his OC as far as that goes. But as far as Saleh goes, it really is kind of the reverse of what we did down here. Instead of Aaron Rodgers, we got Fangio, but it's like Mike McDaniel's basically saying, look, Fangio, here you go. Leave me alone. Make sure that nobody scores more than 20 points on us. You know what I mean?
The original Patriot fan says that Hackett is only Rodgers' assistant. You might be right about that. If that's the case,
sure.
Then I don't really see how this is going to benefit, to be honest. I don't know.
And it's a little bit of nepotism. I mean, Paul Hackett's his dad, and there's the whole train Joe Montana thing and whatever else.
And let's also not forget the other big factor, Color. The AFC East alone, between the different teams, has gotten better. You got Jalen Ramsey here. You have Vic Fangio here now, right? So you already had a star-studded defense that now has a star-studded defensive coordinator to back it up. And
we have an offensive-minded head coach that said, here, Fangio, Just make
Yeah.
sure they don't score more than 20 on us, and we're good. I don't need to come into your room if they're scoring less than 20 points on us.
Yeah, and just make sure they're tackling right. That's pretty much
Exactly.
That's pretty much all it was. I mean, because if you
And
look
get
at
us
it,
the ball back, please. Can you get us the ball back?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we got extremely better in that sense. The Buffalo Bills, now McDermott's going to be calling the defensive plays, and all the Bills fans believe that he's going to be right at home calling defense. If that's the case, then I think the Jets and Aaron Rodgers have their work cut out for them. It's not going to be so easy of a Super Bowl run. It may be a super disappointment. That's what they're headed for, not the bowl. So just being honest.
It sounds to me, Ali, like you need a big dose of RELAX, man. I don't know, bro.
No, I mean, look, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like absolutely garbage over there. I mean, let's be honest. It is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's gonna look good. People are gonna be like, yeah, that's what we thought, but it's ultimately gonna fail. They're not gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
His history versus the teams that were winning this division, which is primarily Buffalo for the last couple of years. Okay, it hasn't looked pretty for him. I remember he got railroaded on primetime versus the Bills last season. You know what I mean? And if you're bringing similar players to, all of his players from over there, and let's not forget that if you look in the news today, still the tight end for the Packers, Mercedes Lewis, I think his name is still being linked to go to the Jets, bro. He's still getting linked. Not to say that they have brought him in or will, but I'm saying he keeps getting, there's like little tidbits I see on Twitter and other areas, other articles. I'm like, are you serious? How many more Jets do they want to bring in? You know what I mean? Not Jets, I'm sorry, Packers. And what is it supposed to be? The New York, New Jersey Packers? Is that what they're going to call them? You know what I mean?
So the Jets fan is trying to ingratiate himself to us. The Bills window is closing. Not going to get no argument out of us here, New York Jets, Florida. And by the way, shout out to the fellow Floridian. Even though you're a Jets fan, nobody's perfect. But, we appreciate you. And I think Scotty nails it too. The Jets will not duplicate what Brady and Tampa did. Guaranteed. I agree with that. And this statement right here, I've probably made this take 5 or 6 times in the off so far since the whole Aaron Rodgers discussion started. And I think delusional Patriots fan is spot on here. Hackett got hired in Denver because he promised them Rodgers. That's right. Or they promised Hackett Rodgers, and when it didn't happen, they threw the bag at Russell Wilson and then threw Hackett under the bus as a 1-year head coach.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I do agree with that part of it. Bills windows closing. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. But at the same time, they're still going to be a formidable team in this division. That's, I still respect the game that they'll bring still. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and Hard Knocks. Let's do a quick rundown color for our second hour, and then we'll talk Miami Dolphins and the articles that I have to read.
Sure thing. Good morning, Dolphin Don. Perfect timing.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. If you're just joining, make sure you hit like and subscribe. We appreciate it. And we'll keep it going here. But while you're waiting, check out TFTGnetwork.com, our website, and check out our merch.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor. We're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process makes shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Yeah, so while you're hanging out, check out some of our other content that we have with El Capitan, Color, and myself. We have Late Night Exhale that's starting up soon when the preseason starts. We also have, stuff by Lewis and Shake Money with Drive Time and Smoke Lounge. They got stuff all throughout the week. You're going to see content here. So definitely check us out. Make sure you turn on notifications because you don't want to miss out on the action. In addition to that, if you'd like to donate, we definitely appreciate that. You don't have to, but we appreciate it. In addition, we accept Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat, Super Stickers, or you can become a member. Shout out to our members. You get notified sooner about our content. In addition, there's different emojis and different content that you'll have access to. There's 3 different levels: Amigos, Familia, and MVP. So definitely that's a good way to donate to the channel and help out. It is very, very inexpensive, actually. If you go look, it's pretty inexpensive. So we really appreciate that. But while you're hanging out, if you look in the description, we also shout out to our affiliates. We already mentioned our TFTG network, our website, which is your one-stop Finn's Tailgate everything, to be honest. You're going to have articles and stuff there that we're posting that you're going to be able to read. I have some older ones I had created already, and I have some new ones that are going to be posted up soon. So shout out to that. I'll be debuting those here on Top of the Morning actually. In addition to that,
New seasons, new gear. Show the world what it means to be a fan in 100% authentic gear. Fanatics, officially licensed everything.
Definitely, Fanatics, officially licensed everything. Your one-stop shop to get any type of memorabilia, officially licensed, signed memorabilia, everything. They have all different sports, all different teams, all the different collections of hats. They always got deals going around. I'm always getting emails for like 60% off store-wide or 70% off store-wide. Even their clearance section has some really cool stuff. Not going to lie. They have everything there. And if you use the link below, you get all the same deals, but it just helps out the channel. So we appreciate if you use the link below, helps out the channel, and you get all the access to the same deals as if you were to go directly to Fanatics. So definitely appreciate that. In addition, check out Backroom Collection. Backroom Collection has some really awesome artwork, canvas stuff that you can hang pretty much everywhere: your sports room, entertainment room, office, bathroom, place of business, doesn't matter. Wherever, even in the garage, you can hang stuff. They got all that kind of stuff. They have accessory visors and stuff for little mini helmets that everybody gets signed by players and stuff. So definitely check out Backroom Collection. There's a link below. And check out Doobie Energy Drink if you're really tired and need some energy to pep you up to keep up with the action that's going on here at the Finn's Tailgate. Check out Doobie Energy Drink. They got some really awesome flavors. They claim that they don't provide the jittering and shaking that people get or crashing that people get when taking some of these other energy drinks or supplements.
All smash, no crash. Get the dub with Dubby.
And Color is trying out to be the new spokesperson for Doobie Energy Drink. Breaking here on the Finn's Tailgate. But that also being said,
they're gonna totally steal that from me. Watch, it's gonna be all smash, no crash. Watch.
Well, they can't actually take it because that would be technically this is being recorded, Color. So we have confirmation.
Oh yeah, I could be rich overnight if they steal it. I'd be like, all right, won the lottery. Color won the lottery, man.
That being said, they also have a lot more vitamins and minerals that benefit the brain functionality and focus in a positive manner. They don't have some of that artificial sugars and stuff that's harmful for the body. So that's good to hear. But check out Doobie Energy Drink. Shake Money is going to be doing reviews. He has a review out, but he's going to be doing reviews each week of different flavors and stuff. So check out Shake Money and Doobie Energy Drink. That also being said, if you're just joining, make sure you hit like and subscribe. It is currently in Miami. As of, let's see here. As of 6:50 a.m., it's 81 degrees, high of 86, low of 78 today. Current humidity is at 89%. Feels like 89, it says, Color. And it also looks like we're mostly sunny, partly cloudy. And we've increased the percentage of rain to about 31% this afternoon. So like there might be some showers here and there as we lead into the evening. All right, color. Let's keep it moving here. So let's see what we have next on the docket. Let me see what I want to talk about first.
Docket. No pun intended.
Speaking of dockets, we'll give a report on the latest of what is being reported regarding Tyreek Hill in the ongoing situation. I'm going to be very clear here. I'm not saying that this report is accurate because of the fact that there's so many different stories coming out at different outlets. When one person says one thing, another source says another, right? In addition, I'm not creating a negative opinion until I see all of the facts and we confirm what the facts are, as well as see the video footage that supposedly exists. Then I will make an opinion or an educated opinion on what I think or feel about the situation. All right. But until then, I'm not going to say anything negative about Tyreek or the situation or whoever's involved. Because honestly, if you think about it, you need to keep an objective mind before accusing somebody as guilty. You are
not only that, Ali, but there's no reason to get all worked up over a hypothetical situation. So if we sit here and speculate, oh, it was probably because of this or probably because of that, well, none of that's, nobody knows. And the fact of it is, if you start thinking of what it could be, and one of those could be's upsets you, then you're getting upset over something that's just a could be. I mean, why do that to yourself?
Absolutely, color. That's another reason. Thank you for bringing that. Yeah. Why get upset over something that it could be when you don't even know? It could be nothing. It could be the fact that they still haven't officially charged him with anything because there's nothing to charge, or there's nothing that would even make a case, to be honest.
Right. It's like complaining about the rain falling 3 weeks from now.
That is correct. When you don't know if it's actually going to rain. Exactly. So this is a story that Alan Papar put out yesterday. Appears that there's some movement in regards to the situation involving Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Miami-Dade police have turned over the investigation into the incident involving Hill at the Hullover Marina in North Miami Beach to the state attorney's office, according to South Florida Sentinel. The newspaper quoted Ed Griffith, a spokesperson for the state attorney's office, as writing in an email that they have received what appears to be a majority of the investigative materials from the police. After all the evidence has been received and all witnesses have been interviewed and their sworn statement taken, then the evaluation of the evidence can be undertaken in light of requirements of Florida's criminal statutes. So, according to Monday Morning, there was an update. Agent Drew Rosenhaus hasn't commented publicly about the recent incident involving client Tyreek Hill, and he maintained that position when he did his weekly spot on South Florida TV station WSVN on Sunday night. Asked point blank by host Josh Moser how concerned he was that charges could be filed against the Miami Dolphins wide receiver, Rosenhaus responded with this: I can't talk about this just because it's an ongoing situation. Let's just call it an ongoing situation. And I haven't commented. A lot of people have reached out. We've just decided not to say anything at this time and just going to stick with that for now. What this does stick out about Rosenhaus' words was his use of ongoing situation as opposed to saying ongoing investigation. The bottom line, though, is that Rosenhaus confirmed that the situation still has not been resolved. So, obviously, there's really nothing absolutely new or groundbreaking that we get out of this article or information that's been posted. We know the information has been provided to the state attorney's office. It's now up to them to really decide if there's any legality or anything that they can do about what was done. You know what I mean?
And it's likely that whatever the conclusion the Miami-Dade police came to, it's likely the state's attorney will probably come to the same conclusion. We're working with this, everybody learned law from the same place, so if there is any difference between what the state's attorney sees in that video or in the information provided in the investigation, if there's any difference, then some questions need to be answered on the part of the Miami-Dade police as to why they decided it wasn't prudent to press charges. You see what I'm saying? So it's highly unlikely that the state's attorney is going to throw the city police like that under the bus unless there is something nefarious going on where they did actually hide some information or let's say neglect to provide some information or purposely didn't think that mattered where the state's attorney does think it matters and ends up pressing charges. All of that is very unlikely. It is more likely to make less assumptions. It's more likely that the state's attorney just sees the same thing the Miami-Dade police did or the county prosecutor or whoever was in control of not pressing charges at the city level. It's likely the state is gonna see the same thing. I mean, why? What would be any different?
I understand. In addition to this color, this is very similar situation to what Devontae Adams is dealing with. Recently, charges were filed after going back and forth if they weren't going to be, but then later dropped, and it's now going to be resolved in civil court.
One other thing I wanted to point out. So I'm sorry to interrupt, Ali. I just wanted to point out, and a big thank you to. Some people know him, some people don't, but a big thank you to Mr. John Christolakis, who does have some paralegal back. I'm not sure exactly what, but he came into a space the other day and explained it very thoroughly as to why the gentleman might be deciding to press charges now, and it has to do with the legitimacy of his civil claims. So,
and that's exactly what I was getting to.
Right. But sure, I was just going to say, Chris Delacus had pointed out, there's a possibility, and this is only a possibility, that his lawyer advised him to press charges in order that when it proceeds through the civil court, the question won't be asked as to why he felt different now than he did back when he decided not to press charges criminally.
Exactly, because it's basically setting up their the leg to stand on the civil suit. That's basically
right. They don't necessarily expect anything to come out of the pressing the criminal charges, other than to say they did, so that they can bring that to the civil court and say, yes, see, we did press criminal charges, because we felt this way at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the only reason why you may see that. I'm still not worried about this color. I'm still not worried. There's really nothing I'm really concerning me here yet until we have the video and the facts and we get the full actual report. I don't think anybody needs to worry about it at this point. That's
and again, there is no. I mean, the only words I've even heard that come close to pointing the finger at Tyreek Hill are presumably. This was presumably Tyreek Hill. We don't even actually know if Tyreek's hand is the one that hit the back of the man's head.
Yeah. Yep.
The video has not been released. And there's been 5 different reports from Sunday about what actually happened and who actually did it. So we don't even know if Tyreek's skin made contact with this guy's skin. We don't even know that.
Yeah. What we do kind of know is that because there's all these different outlets claiming, one thing versus the other. I can tell you from what is being reported is that there's some misinformation going around, specifically about getting in trouble for fishing off the pier or something like that, or at the marina or whatever. First of all, if you're getting in trouble for fishing somewhere that you're not, wouldn't it be the game warden or whatever they call that comes out to talk to you, Color?
Or the person would say, "Hey, I'm calling the game warden."
Yeah, that wouldn't it be them? I'm just saying, if there's any type of investigation in regards to that, it would be like the game warden. I think that would get
Right,
involved.
and not only that, but it's likely that something like that was completely fabricated at this point. We don't even know.
Yeah, definitely. We don't know. So until we get all the facts and they've actually made it a full-blown announcement that it's this, I can't even give
Right, and if I'm being naive, if others out there want to say, "Oh, look at Color, he's being naive," if it's already platitude that he did this and it's just a matter of making it a matter of law, well then why don't we just say anybody did anything then? And so anybody that has a problem with me saying pump the brakes, we don't know anything, and wants to call me naive, hey, you're the one. If you think that, then you're the one out there propagating misinformation.
That's absolutely true. But yeah, shout out to Alan Popar and providing an update on Sports Illustrated. Check out his articles. You can read the full article there. They go into detail about what happens next, but it's really nothing that we already know. Everything that we've already talked about is pretty much the same information as at this point. The only big difference is that the investigation has been all the information has been provided to the attorney, the state attorney's office. So we'll see.
This is one of those cases that show an example of why belief is not knowledge. It's not the same thing.
No, it's not. But let's keep it moving with the Dolphins. All right, Color. I want to go from the negative to the positive now. It's actually not so much positive. It's more of questions here. So this is a article by Omar Kelly. Dolphins' window to win it all closes soon, according to him. The financial strain the Dolphins are placing on the franchise to pay for big-ticket talent eventually will force a reset. NFL teams typically work in windows of 3 to 4 years that often start with the scorched earth rebuild. We saw that in 2019. Maybe it's a new general manager who's the first domino to fall, or a head coach, and often it's the quarterback. Sometimes it's all three. In the Dolphins' case, the rebuild began in 2019 when Mike Tannenbaum was stripped of his power and the team's top executive. That honor responsibility power was granted to general manager Chris Greer, who had been in the role since 2016, but never was the franchise top executive in football side of the organization. Brian Flores replaced Adam Gase as the head coach that offseason, and 3 years later, Mike McDaniel replaced him following Flores' troublesome divorce from the franchise. Yeah, it was a troublesome divorce. I don't think it's over yet, but it's another story. But since 2019, when Greer took over in Miami, hired Flores and traded away quarterback Ryan Tannehill, the Dolphins have been rebuilding an organization with a young nucleus and the goal to make the Dolphins a championship contender for years to come. Might have changed coaches, but not the course. That's why it's healthy to acknowledge that 2023 is season 5 of this rebuild, which means it's playoff or pivot time. The way Miami has conducted business the past 2 off seasons, adding important but expensive pieces like Tyreek Hill, Teron Armstead, Bradley Chubb, and Jalen Ramsey, a financial strain is on the horizon because it's going to be extremely expensive to keep this collection of talent together past 2023.
Yeah, that's cap. Just kidding.
It is kind of cap, though. It is kind of cap, and we'll get into that. Miami already is $32 million over the projected salary cap for 2024, and there are 29 impending free agents like Raekwon Davis, Robert Hunt, Brandon Jones looking for their big payday. The Dolphins are one of the 8 teams over the projected salary cap for 2024, and of the group, the Dolphins, Buffalo Bills fans, San Francisco 49ers, New York Jets, and the Los Angeles Chargers can view themselves as teams realistically trying to advance to the Super Bowl. Even though the Dolphins have roughly $12 million in cap space heading into training camp in late July, every decision from the team's finances, where it's pursuing Pro Bowl tailback Dalvin Cook or signing a veteran linebacker or defensive lineman, has a domino cascade that will fall into 2024 and beyond. However, owner Stephen Ross has never cried poverty and usually has written big checks to bail Miami out of some tough spots. So why start worrying about tomorrow's bills when you can live for today by focusing on maximizing this season, the talent and the roster? The window is now this season. And if 2023 fails for whatever reason, whether it's because of quarterback injury, offensive line struggles, or offensive or defensive regression, a full-fledged reset is inevitable because it's unlikely Ross will write big checks to push forward with an 8-9 win team. 5 years of one rebuild is enough to determine if the franchise is headed in the right direction and if the people selecting and coaching the talent know what they're doing. Everyone associated with the Dolphins organization knows this is why we're witnessing a couple of impending free agents jockey for a new deal.
No, coup was the right word. Coup was the right word. You got it.
Sorry, I meant to say couple, but yeah. Pressing to get their slice of the pie before it's time for the franchise to sign to a massive contract. That likely will eat up 20% of the salary cap based on the deals Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Lamar Jackson got this offseason from their respective teams. That is what's on the horizon if the season goes as planned, which would indicate that the rebuild is on track. Miami can find a way to press forward for one more season by restructuring players and handing out longer deals that feature a substantial amount of signing bonus money, but it needs to be worth Ross's time and effort and the financial commitment. Ross always has been willing to spend the money, making the financial investment to keep the talent or to upgrade the facility, but at some point he needs to draw the line in the sand. There must be a motivating factor to inspire him, and anything short of the franchise's first playoff win since 2000 likely won't do it. The point of a rebuild is to create a new foundation. The Dolphins have done that for the past 4 years without any excuses made. The season will dictate whether it's a solid one, something worth keeping together, or is it a clunker that needs to be sent to hit the reset and sent to the junkyard.
And guess who's going to determine that?
Mike McDaniel.
The players.
So hold on a second.
The players have to play at some point. Go ahead, Cap. Oh, by the way, El Capitan, before you get started, requirement on top of the tailgate, if you're going to chime in remotely, is you got to give traffic report and weather for wherever you're at.
All right. So on the I-95 northbound in Central Florida, just outside of, just south of the St. Johns County and St. Augustine area, there is mild congestion heading north and southbound. Nothing too crazy, no accidents on the road right now, but I'll tell you what, the way people are swerving all over the road, it's only about amount of time before we start getting pile up around here. They need to watch themselves and stop doing this. This guy in this Ford Edge right now, who doesn't want to drive as fast as he is, needs to calm the hell down.
Damn. El Capitan and the road rage. No,
that's a proper traffic report right there,
that's
man.
Right.
You're going to tell you who the idiots are on the road. Watch out for that Ford pickup.
And this guy driving his extended cab Ford pickup is not got enough power to be pulling that giant friggin' massive enclosed trailer he's got that keeps swerving around him. I made sure to get around his ass.
All right, El Cap, you had something to say about the article. Go for it.
So here's what I'm looking at. To me, the chickens do not come home to roost next year. They don't. The only way the chickens come home to roost next year for 2024 season is if Tua falls flat and we have to pivot off the quarterback and the quarterback alone. Now, that to me would throw an absolute, it's like taking an open machine with all these gears in it and throwing like a ball bearing into it. And how would that work? I don't know. If Tua falls flat, do they go ahead and try to find a veteran? Do they go and get a rookie? I mean, I can't imagine, even if you were to draft a rookie, do you hand the keys to a kingdom with this much firepower and this much star power to a young guy coming out of college? You might be setting that man up for failure with all these big personalities and all this pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard thing to imagine it working out with a rookie. What veterans would even be available? So these are conversations that, honestly, I really don't even want to have. Tua has to work out for this team, not just for 2023 and 2024, but what we're talking about. Because yes, there is 20% of the cap space that can be eaten up by a marquee quarterback on a franchise type of deal. But in the short term, for the long term, you can manipulate the money in a way to keep a lot of this talent around by signing a mega deal like that, know? And so I hate to say it, and, I know Dolphin fans try to stay as much as they can, not wanting to admit it to themselves, but everything in in football, in the pros, it hinges on the quarterback. It is the most important position in all of sports. And if it comes up short, I don't think it'll have to be a pull the plug type of thing, but we could see major movement over the next 2 years that we're looking at a roster we're looking at this year, and it could look completely different.
Yeah.
Well, Omar also used the word reset, so that kind of opens the door up for him to backpedal a little bit, because what is a reset? Is that a full rebuild? Is that a retooling? What is that?
Exactly. And on top of it, the one part that he left out of this article is that if all of these free agents we brought in, Tyreek Hill's deal, Bradley Chubb's deal, all the high-priced players we brought in, if you look at what Chris Greer has done, he's provided himself an out after 2 to 3 years out of every contract. So we're not, if people want to say that our window is closed, no, we have the way to get out of it. And by getting out of it doesn't mean that you can't re-sign that person, afterwards. Maybe it's a way to restructure a newer deal. We've seen players, I'll give you guys an example. Super Bowl contender that was in a Super Bowl last year, the Eagles, right? Wasn't Darius Slay released and then brought back after he was released? You know what I'm saying? Didn't that happen this offseason? I don't know if
I see a lot of that happening.
No, but it's possible. What I'm saying is there are options on the table that does allow us to extend the window beyond 2023 and beyond 2024. So there's options is basically what I'm trying to get at. Go ahead.
To me, the only feasible future to where when we're talking reset, we're not looking at like a 2019 to 2020 type of like tear down, because I mean then you're talking about getting rid of assets that I think are going to be pillars on this team for years to come, and that's like a Jalen Phillips, a Jalen Waddle, a Javon Holland. Like you can't really not sign a young talent that you drafted like that. It's just not the way you build a great franchise type of team. Now, I guess you could if you traded those 3 guys, and it got you 6 first-round picks back. You know what I'm saying? I guess if that was the case. But I just, man, dude, I don't see how Chris Greer and, McKenzie and, even the coaches, I don't see how anyone makes it through that type of fire sale. I don't know, man. To me, this team, as it sits, is a team for this year and next year, and even they mortgage their future on next year as long as this year pans out to some degree.
I definitely hear what you're saying. Shout out to I want to say it was Spliff in the spaces. Somebody mentioned this, and I have to look to see if it's accurate. But supposedly, Chris Greer hasn't re-signed a first-round pick since he's been GM. Is that true? I don't know if you guys know if that's true or not.
Well, I mean, really, Christian Wilkins is the first of the pillars of his first round picks. And I'm not, since he's been around, what was the guy before that? Charles Harris. Nobody was going to sign that bum. Yeah,
we didn't re-sign him. We didn't sign a lot of. I don't think we've signed any of our outside of. Go ahead.
The article just stated this is the 5th year of Chris Greer's reigns, holding the reins, and the first guy he got was Christian Wilkins. So yeah, he hasn't re-signed Christian Wilkins, and I'm actually gonna do probably a shorter episode, maybe like 40 minutes or less, 30 minutes maybe even. I'm gonna peel back all the layers of Christian Wilkins, because I hear people on one side that are super about wanting to sign him, and I'm not. Look, in that, I hear a lot of this stuff, and I get it. It's a fan thing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to disagree with them, and I'm not trying to. I don't want to be disrespectful in saying this, but when I was a younger fan, to me, it was super important to sign a guy like Christian Wilkins. You know what I'm saying? It sets a precedent. It shows the guys in the building how much, what this team and this organization is representing and taking care of their own, and yada, yada, yada. My feelings as I've gotten older and been a fan of football longer has changed dramatically on that type of stuff. There is no loyalties in business. Okay,
yeah.
The loyalty
all about what's important for business. That's what it's about.
Exactly. I don't pay you for what you did. I don't pay you for what you for what you're gonna do. I pay you. You know what I'm saying? It's really got to be. I mean, as far as the team, they've got to win the deal in some way, because I've seen us, really get screwed on that type of stuff.
Yeah, so and the other part of it, Cap, the other part of it, you look at, you can compare teams like the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is known for signing players that was like your kind of like your guys that the fans like, you know what I mean? Like basically signing them because they were part of the family. Let it be because he liked the player, or similar stuff to what Christian Wilkins means to this team is reasons why he re-signed Ezekiel Elliott or Des Bryant or players like that to these massive contracts, even though they, he couldn't even keep them. The Des Bryant thing went on forever. Is he going to release them or not? And he loved the guy. He's like, dude, I don't want to release you, but I have to because it was the only way out of this situation. You know what I mean? I don't want to sign players like that just because we love the guy. I want to sign players because it means we're going to win for future and ongoing. I don't want to be a one and done type of guy. Go ahead.
You can't allow your feelings to interfere when it comes to business, because look, this is how I look at it. Okay. And just simply put, you sign one guy to make good on some feelings about somebody for a mega deal. How does that help everyone else? You know what I'm saying? Like, if one guy costs you 3 more, is that really the right play? Is that really the best way? I mean, what about the other 3 guys you could have kept instead of the one? I'm not saying Christian Wilkins can't do. There's a way in which, come the end of this year, it's unanimous amongst the fan base, because Christian Wilkins has taken a huge step as far as being the most dominant interior defensive guy in the league, that we would just go, well, nobody's earned it more than this man. You better pay him, and you can't let him walk if he's just going to be an absolute force in the middle of this defensive line, especially with Fangio's scheme changing up how we're going to be implementing our defense for the future. So I'm fine with paying the man. I'm just not fine with paying him right now, and I'm gonna be upset It's not going to be this year. Probably won't be next year. But, you know, if we're losing talent and hemorrhaging talent and we're doing cap manipulation and we're still hovering around 10 wins, 9 wins and trying to get into the playoffs, and we're losing guys like Brandon Jones and, you know, key contributors because we're having to manipulate around massive mega deals all over this roster. I'm sorry, guys. You know, the only position that I believe you can really afford to overpay for and it ever makes sense is quarterback. And now, if you get the best guy in the league in a position, and that's the guy you're going to overpay for, I don't care what position it is, that's the only way it's justifiable. Now, if Christian Wilkins wants to be the best guy in the entire league at his position, and that's the kind of money he wants, and the Dolphins, you know, say, all right, fine, I can't deny you, then okay. But anything short of that is going to be a lost investment to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely hear you. So, any thoughts on that, Color?
Not really. I mean, Cap knows how to drop the mic, man.
Well, thank you for coming and hanging out with us, Cap. Are you going to hang out for a little bit longer, or?
Yeah, I got another 20 minutes I can hang out for.
Sounds good, man. We have another article we're going to go over. So definitely, and this is also on Sports Illustrated. This one, let me just pull it up here real quick. This one is by Alan Pupar. The 75 best Dolphin games of the 2000. This is number 71 through 75. Color. The 2022 season was memorable. One for the Miami Dolphins, not only because it produced the franchise first playoff appearance in 6 years, but did so with style. The proof comes in our ranking of the top 75 Dolphin games of the 2000s, which featured more from 2022 than any other season. We ended up...
Real quick, Ali, before you get going on the list,
yeah,
I better see on this list towards the top that Dolphins-Bengals primetime game where Cameron Wake had the walk-off sack safety to win. That game better be on that list.
It may be, but this is only 71 through 75, just so you're aware of that. So that's all he's posted so far. Each week, I guess, he's going to put out more of this list, but that's all that this is so far, and it's not one of them yet. That would be ranked up one of the higher ones, to be honest. So.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize we were only doing 5 games. Okay.
Yeah. So let me go through this. So we ended up with 7 games from last season in their countdown, 2 more than 2002, 2013, 2014, and 2016. Of course, this is all subjective, and every Dolphins fan might have a different view of each game. For us, it was about entertainment value of the game combined with the significance of it, with bonus points awarded to or for anything unusual that happened, like, say, a ridiculous 3 later finish, or a team being called back from the locker room 30 minutes after everybody thought the game was over. I'll give you an example. And yes, like the list, it does include the Dolphins' losses purely on the entertainment value and the quality of the game. So here is the countdown. It says.
Real quick. What I would put up in the 70s like that, Ali, 1991 season opener versus the Patriots, bro. That's got to be. That's the one that sticks in my memory for my whole life, man.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought
this is the 2000s only. This is the 2000s.
Damn. Oh well.
So number 75, 2022 versus New England. Dolphins 20, Patriots 7-7. We've also valued the first game of a coach's tenure a bit more than others, and so it was with Mike McDaniel's debut. This is a game decided on big plays by the Dolphins, starting with Melvin Ingram scoring the first touchdown of the season for Miami when he returned a fumble caused by a sack of Mac Jones by a safety, Brandon Jones. The game also featured the 42-yard touchdown pass from Tua to Jalen Waddle on the 4th down near the end of the first half. as well as Jalen Phillips' fumble recovery off Cater Kahu's hit inside Dolphins territory that all but sealed the outcome in the fourth quarter. So that's interesting. I don't know if that was one of my most favorite games, but it was definitely entertaining in a sense, because it was Mike McDaniel's his first game of the season. So I don't know what do you guys think about that game? Was it really that entertaining to you, or?
I guess out of 75, sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, for me, the significance is the fact that it was Mike McDaniel's first season game.
Yeah, so he kind of prefaced it on that too. If you're gonna in the pantheon of importance to history, quote unquote, we could look back for years to come and go, yeah, that was his first game. Look how good he did, even out the gates. You know what I'm saying?
And that has to be the hottest game I've ever experienced, man.
Maybe that was the significance. It was hot. Color even came to my side of the field and hung out for a few moments because he couldn't take the other side. It was that bad. It was one of the hottest games. I have to agree. So, anyway, that's it's okay. I'll leave that at 75. 74, and this is one of my favorite games. This was a London game. 2014 versus Oakland. Dolphins win 38-14. The Dolphins haven't had great success in London, and evidenced by their 1-4 record. In fact, one of those losses in 2015 ended up being the final game of Joe Philbin's tenure as a Miami Dolphins head coach. A year earlier, though, it was the Dolphins who ended the coaching tenure with their spanking of the Raiders. Lamar Miller rushed for 2 touchdowns. Cortland Finnegan returned a fumble 50 yards for another score, and 3 DBs, Brent Grimes, Jimmy Wilson, and Walt Aikens, had an interception return for 30 or more yards. This became the final game as a head coach for the late Tony Sparano, who had coached the Dolphins from 2008 through the late 2011 season. Wow, that was a good game, I would say.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the craziness on the plane ride home, and they had like fired him, and now they got to ride on the plane together, or like they found out he was going to fire him. That was back when the front office had leaks all in it, and I guess Sparano's people found out, and the wives were fighting. It was Jeff Ireland and him. Man,
the Tony Sparano was the coach of the Raiders in this game, I believe. That's what I think. I think he was the Raiders coach at the time. So, and he got fired at this game. So technically, back-to-back London games, Dolphins coach or Dolphins former coach got fired because you
mean we didn't find out about all that on Hard Knocks, Capitan? You mean that Hard Knocks didn't show all that, bro?
That's true. So 2014, Tony Sparano got fired, and then 2015, what's his name? Philbin finally, after the London loss, got sacked. So the 2015, that was a crazy one because I was like, I'm not gonna sit in that plane with him. You know what I mean? That'd be crazy. But that, I don't know. This game was very impressive. 3 interceptions. A fumble return for 50 yards. Definitely a good game. It's number 73, 2018 versus Oakland. Oakland again. Dolphins 28, the Raiders 20. Like last season, the 2018 began the season with a 3-0 record. And the third of those wins featured one of the franchise's most iconic shots, Jakeem Grant and Albert Wilson high-fiving each other as Wilson races to the end zone to complete a 74-yard touchdown off of a shovel pass. Earlier in the fourth quarter, the team had teamed for another touchdown when Wilson threw a 52-yard touchdown pass to Grant off a double reserve. The Dolphins trailed 17-7 before Grant started the comeback with a 19-yard touchdown off of another shovel pass. Xavier Howard also was a huge in that game with 2 picks, including one in the end zone on the 1st and 10 when the Dolphins led 21-17. So
I remember that game. That's a
that
game that
game
I
was,
can remember.
yeah,
That
that
was an
game was a
amazing
hell of a
football
game.
That
Shout
game
out
was
to
awesome.
Yes, and shout out to Albert Wilson. He's from the Port St. Lucie, Jensen Beach area. So shout out to him. That's where I live. So I have to shout out him. That touchdown pass he threw was amazing. I thought he actually showed why he was brought in from Kansas City and the versatility of him using him in different Wildcat formats in that aspect. Go ahead.
So if you remember in the post game after that game, they talked about that they would run the play, and it was an option of who would be the passer and the thrower between Jakeem Grant and Albert Wilson. And they sat there and discussed to each other that if I throw it, you got to get a touchdown, and vice versa. And they had like a running bet that if the person who was the receiver in this play didn't get the touchdown, there was a financial implication if you didn't get that touchdown. So it was almost certain that if this play was going to get called and going to be dialed up, that this guy was whoever the receiver was, whether it was Wilson or Grant, was going to have to get the touchdown. So it was going to cost him like $10,000, I think they said, or something crazy like that. Or it might not have been that much, but you understand my point. Like the ragging in the locker room would have never ended if you didn't get the touchdown on this pass. So, yes, that game was filled with big moments that were just super entertaining to Dolphin fans.
100%. I agree with that. It was very entertaining, and that was one of my favorite games, to be honest. Keep it moving here. So number 72, 2021 versus the Jets. Dolphins 31, Jets 24. After the Dolphins' miserable 1-7 start of 2021, they fought their way back in this victory against the Jets after their bye put the record at 7-7. This was Duke Johnson's coming out party for his hometown Dolphins, rushing for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. After the Jets tied the score 24-24 with a pick six midway through the fourth quarter, the Dolphins responded with a drive highlighted by Myles Gaskin, a 30-yard run, and capped by Tua's touchdown pass to Devontae Parker. The Dolphins made 2 defensive stops after that to secure the victory. And somehow in that one paragraph, I just woke up Crypto out of his sleep. So
by the way, that pick six that came right at me. The guy could have very well handed me the football, bro.
Damn, you were at that game,
yeah.
Brother?
Yeah, I was, and I got firsthand front row witness of that pick six.
Damn. Yeah, it was a good game. It was a great game. Myles Gaskin, showed what he could do, and Duke Johnson was a beast in that game. 107 yards. So that was really awesome. That was like one of the first 100-yard rushers we had in a while, up until that point. During that season, it was a great game. I have to agree. Any thoughts on it, Chris? Or El Capitan? I'm sorry.
Nah, I mean, honestly, I felt like the Jakeem Grant Albert Wilson game should have been ranked higher, than that game personally.
I do agree. I kind of think the Raiders game was more significant.
I just think if we're basing it off of big games with just that are memorable and big plays and that game sticks out. I'm gonna listen to a couple of these up and down this list, and I'm gonna go back to thinking of that game and thinking that one should be higher than that.
Yeah, I actually agree with you in that sense. I really think that the Raiders game had a lot more entertainment value, a lot more big time plays. I think the significance for this is the fact that we started 1-7, and this basically tied the record. It made it 7-7 essentially, is when we broke even.
I think it also comes with implications of against the Jets too. That's probably why it's kind of getting a little bit more weight.
Maybe that might be. Number 71, and this is the last one we can talk about on the list for now, according to Alan Popar. 2005 versus Carolina, Dolphins 27, Panthers 24. Nick Saban's tenure with the Dolphins got off to a pretty good start. First game will come later in the countdown. With 2 victories in the first 3 games, this week 3 home wins showcased the big playability of rookie second overall pick Ronnie Brown, who had a 58-yard run on his way to a 132-yard outing. After Steve Smith's 3rd touchdown reception tied the score 24-24, the Dolphins won on a last-second field goal by Alindo Mare after an interception and 37-yard return by safety, since we were talking safeties recently, Lance Schulters. So this game is not the most memorable game, but
The Clayton Fedulum of their time. Jeez.
yeah, I would say that is the Clayton Fledgman of their time. I mean, Olindo Mare was one of the best field goal kickers in Miami Dolphin history. So I
And
will
shout
give him
out
that.
to the Mare family, who in Clewiston, Florida, still to this day owns a pizzeria. It's been there forever, dating back to before Olinde, when Olinde was still in high school. They have a little pizzeria out in Clewiston, Florida, which for all y'all that don't know, Clewiston, Florida is the middle of nowhere. Just
Did
north.
he go to Clewiston?
I can't imagine. I don't have that for a fact, but I can't imagine how he didn't go to Clewiston and his parents have a pizzeria there. So,
Because Clewiston is the only team nearby Palm Beach County to the north that can challenge
Glade.
Glade Central. Like they're
That's right.
they're a real deal team, man.
Yep, the Clewiston area, another spot where, for all you guys that don't know Florida and in the center of the state, they burn the sugar cane, and they had the football team go out there and catch rabbits barefoot.
So
The backs and receivers, man.
I did actually have access to pull up the information on Alindo Mare pretty quickly. He originally was from Hollywood, Florida, just so you know.
Mhm.
And he went to Cooper City High School. Yeah, so
Where the hell is Cooper City High School?
I think that's a Miami school.
let me find it
if
is
you're-
in Broward County, it says.
Broward,
So
okay.
there is a common thing that happens. If you're a damn good football player in the state of Florida, we stack our teams around here. If you're some kid in the middle of nowhere that's really good at kicking a football, you're gonna find yourself in one of these big time high schools in Florida. We ain't playing. We trying to build state champions around here.
Interesting. I'm just reading about Cooper City High School, so I was trying to see if there's anything.
Hey, doesn't one of your high schools up that way, El Capitan? Isn't one of the high schools up there the mascot, the Dolphins?
I don't know. There's a lot of good high schools around here. There's a lot of different names, and they got Pirates, they got friggin' Raiders, they got all kinds of stuff.
I'm pretty sure that because when I posted that picture of the honorary dolphin, you remember over at Marineland, they got a dolphin that, a famous one that resided there and did a bunch of movies or whatever. And they have like a shrine to it down in the bottom area where they have like a Dolphins jersey in a case honoring this dolphin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Dolphin jersey is actually from one of the local high schools. I don't think it's a Miami Dolphins jersey.
I don't think there certainly isn't one in the Flagler County. There might be in the Volusia or the St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 2 high schools in the Flagler County area, and one of them's brand new. The other one is the Bulldogs, so that ain't it.
Well, Marineland's address is actually St. Augustine. Like it's just inside of St. Augustine on the south.
So yes and no, because Marineland technically is a Flagler County.
Right. I'm just saying that they're on their sign. It says St. Augustine, Florida. You know what I mean? Like it's their like their official postal address. You know what I mean?
It's
But it's like
weird,
right
'cause-
on, like it's right there on the border. Like it's like right when you know what I mean, in the north end of Flagler
Well, it's
County.
strange because like St. Johns County has gotten bigger, and like okay, just to get off topic real quick, like Duval County in the early 2000s was like the second biggest county in the state. Now it's like the 10th biggest county in the state, and they've sold through rezoning, and this has to do with politics too, with like when you have like a congressman and shit like that.
Redistricting.
They redistrict a lot around here in the surrounding counties of Duval, which are Baker County, which used to be a tiny, tiny little county. Now it's big as hell. And then Clay County, and then St. Johns County purchased and rezoned more to take away, making Duval significantly smaller than it used to be. St. John's is massive now. So it's a weird thing.
I think Clay is where Florida man's from, right?
I'll tell you what, I've been to Clay County. It's a different spot. Like it's amazing to me how many non-paved roads are out there that people live on, and like you'll be driving on a non-paved dirt road for like miles,
Yep.
and there's houses just ducked off out there. I'm like, if there's a fire out here, everybody's in trouble. There's just no way you're getting out of this thing. Like, I mean, bro, I've been driving around. There's some sweet fishing spots out there, though, I will say.
Yeah, that county owns a lot of Cops episodes.
Just so you know, Cooper City is just south of Davie, Florida, and north of Pembroke Pines. It's right in the.
Oh,
in
okay,
between it.
okay.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
To give
So
you an idea.
that's over by where that's near where Nova's at. That's near where the old practice facility's at.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that, color. Let me.
Yeah, Nova's in Davie.
Yeah, it's literally right by there. It's right by Nova Community School and everything.
The one thing you can count on in the state of Florida is that in every one of these counties, and it could be the most backwoods, backwater county you've ever seen, the high school football team is damn good. They're damn good, boy. They are good. You go and watch these boys, and you're like, damn, where are they getting these kids? You know what I'm saying? And they just out there, bro. We eat, breathe, and sleep football in this state, and we pride ourselves on it in such a way that it's amazing.
It's a lot like Texas small town football, where you get in some of these towns in Florida with their high school team, and their high school team like runs the town.
Yeah,
It's like Friday Night Lights, you know what I mean? Like it's really like that, man.
You're not kidding, El Cap, when you say that. Like every city in Florida that has a high school or a decent high school or whatever has a player that's either in the NFL or was a highly recruited player into college. You know what I mean? It's very. How do I say it? All throughout the entire state, there's talent.
Yeah, like the local sheriff is the football coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or was a former big time college recruit or something. You know? What I mean?
Right. Or played, or he's got his jersey retired as their quarterback in their cafeteria. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's so many tethers to the NFL to these towns all over the state. That's for sure.
100%. All right, gentlemen, it is 8:00, and my time, unfortunately, is short. Currently, it's 8:00, and it's currently in Miami. Currently, is 81 degrees still, high of 87. Feels like 91 now, color. It's getting hotter in Miami. So, any final thoughts? Final thoughts.
I'll say this for a final thought. I walked outside this morning. It was already muggy as a mud. It's going to rain up here in Central Florida today. There's never a final thought because, there's always another show around the corner here at the Finn's Tailgate. So with that, I'll see you guys later.
Definitely. Thank you for hanging out, El Cap. We
appreciate it, Capitan.
See you guys.
Definitely. All right. Color, it's you and I. Final thoughts. See, it was a great show. Enjoy it.
Yes, absolutely. I echo that sentiment as well. There's no final thoughts except to say, It is what it is, because at the end of the day, it's the evening.
That's true. So from the top of the morning to the evening, definitely.
Oh, real quick, shout out to what does it say? Mako Shark Fin Molina. That is Willie Molina, bro. Been a long time no see, man. Good to see you coming back around. How you doing this morning? Newfoundland, I see you. How you doing? Good morning.
Miss Finn's up in here. What's up, Miss Fins? I see you.
Miss Fins, yep.
Yeah, all 32 NFL teams have multiple Florida players. This is absolutely true. One thing is true about all 32 teams, and I'm pretty sure I can point them out to everybody. All 32 teams have players from Florida, Texas, or Ohio. That's a fact. So, anyway, shout out to everybody. My final thoughts are, let's get ready for some preseason, baby. That's what I'm saying. We got the preseason around the corner. Shout out to everybody that comes and hangs out with us in the mornings. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We have whole slew of shows and stuff we have planned that's going to be rolled out over the summer into the fall. So keep with us. Make sure you turn on notifications, hit like and subscribe.
Mainly, and just to say also, the quarterback, the passer production list for 2022 is complete, and I will be debuting that on a show as soon as I can get the time to start up a show. It might be this afternoon, but it will be guaranteed tomorrow after top of the tailgate if I don't get it in today. The list is complete. I think there's a couple little neat tidbits, and I'll say this. I'll give you the one little hint that I gave on the wide receiver list. The number one most productive passer of 2022 came in with an average ranking. I'm sorry. I thought I had the sticky note up in front of me, but hold on a second. Let me get the actual number. I thought I had a good memory of it, but here it is right here. The number one most productive passer had an average ranking in the 9 criteria that I chose of 3.22.
Interesting. Very, very.
So, in other words, if that quarterback would have been number one in every single one of the 9 stats, he would have had a 1. He got a 3.22. Just to give you a little teaser there, the number one guy, 3.22 average ranking.
So keep out an eye for Color's show regarding the number one passer. He'll be doing it either today. If not today, it'll be tomorrow, either during or
and
after.
Just to clarify, that is the most productive passer, not the best. The best is subjective, and you know what I mean. But productive, inside my subjective criteria, we can make objective assessments. So look forward to that, and keep your notification bell rung.
Definitely. With that, fins up, everybody. Have a good day.
Yeah.